Hey everybody, welcome to the Dano channel. I am Dano and I'm back with another Star Wars Micro Machines unboxing. Today, it's a special treat. We're doing the Death Star. Now this isn't a transforming action set that looks like a character and then opens up. We've already done that one. It's actually sitting right here on my table. I don't know if you can barely see it there, but it was a stormtrooper and he opened up and he became the Death Star with a little garbage chute, a couple little action sequences. It was really cool. But that wasn't the only Death Star that we've seen before. We also saw the Rogue One Death Star, which was amazing. I actually really love that playset. And then there was the 90s, it's called the Double Takes by Galoob, which is this transforming Death Star that actually the inside was only partially Death Star. Just the top area was Death Star. The rest was more Tatooine. But the one we're going to be looking at today, so I can close that. There we go. The one we're looking at today is going to be the Death Star from 1994. Wow, that is really old. That is a really, really old toy. Now, this toy is not in brand new condition. This is something I got used. The box is almost perfect, but it has been opened, and I noticed something. I don't know how I feel about it, but I personally haven't opened this yet, and we'll see. Let's get on to the front of the box. You know I love to look at the artwork here. So first off, we've got this Micro Machines space logo, the original scale miniatures. Star Wars, the Death Star from Star Wars A New Hope. There's some cool picture of the Falcon. I love how blocky and simple it is. I actually really like that. Includes super space action features. There's an X-Wing jumping out. It says assembly required, ages 4 and up. I do like that X-Wing popping out in the yellow motion marks that it's got. There's a little turbo laser. Ooh, and Darth Vader. Look, little hidden Darth Vader down there. I don't know what he's doing, just at the edge of space, hanging out. There's a bigger view of the Death Star. You can see the trench is kind of on the outside. There's the super laser there. A little Star Destroyer in the background, zooming in. Like the pink space bits. Ooh, press the button to blast open a secret panel. Very cool. Here's a little sneak peek at some of the features. Galoob 65871. And look up here. Notice it's a little wonky. And I'm missing Princess Leia Organa. I've got R2-D2. I have Han Solo. I have Luke Skywalker. I have Darth Vader. A nice looking X-Wing. A little top view of the X-Wing. It looks painted decently. But no Princess Leia Organa. I don't know where she is. But you notice I got this whole pile over here. And I've got a princess there that I can use. So maybe I'll do that. Alright, on to the back of the box. Let's see here. More of the same. Let's read the little blurb. It all began a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Now continue to experience the struggle between the Rebel Alliance, Defenders of Justice, and the evil and corrupt Empire. These are authentic and detailed replicas of planetary space stations seen in the movies Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Follow the elusive rebel heroes Luke Skywalker and Han Solo as they battle the Empire's mighty war fleets commanded by Lord Darth Vader. And may the Force be with you. So here's a couple little shots there. Collection 1, Collection 2, Collection 3. It's weird that they advertised for this set on this set. But it was back in 94, so times were weird. Ice Planet Hoth, we've got Endor, all of which I have, and they're up in my shelves back over there. But let's go get onto the features here. Let's start at the bottom left. Pivoting tractor beam telescopes in and out. And that's where the X-Wing is attached. Next, space vehicle docking bay. Okay, that's the room. Says there's a Luke Skywalker in there. There's a Death Star trench for starfighter battles. I don't know if that's an actual feature or what. There's a Han Solo figure it comes with, which we saw. Removable secret panel to see inside Death Star core. That's cool. I like that. Also includes Lord Darth Vader figure, who is not pictured because it's a round playset and he would have been on the other side. So it's kind of funny they did that. Next up, we have rotating gun station. That is a very large gun. Princess Leia Organa. You know what, though? Back here, I think on the wall, if not on the wall, it's buried in one of these. I have what's called the classic character selection. I think she's one of them. Lastly, though, we have R2-D2, and he looks good. He looks really good. I like it. I like it. So that's everything. Again, we have all of our other Death Stars here at the table. But this is going to be our first time looking at this one. Now, because it's already been opened, there's no tape for me to cut. I can just kind of get into it, which is cool. I don't know if there's stickers. That's the other part. Oh, nope. There's definitely stickers, and they need to be put on. Oh, my goodness. There's like a whole cardboard piece that has like perforations kind of that need to be punctured. Okay, you guys need to see a close-up of this. You guys got to see a close-up of this. So check this out. I am the first person to really handle this. And there's this little perforation in the center that I believe will pop out, maybe? Yeah, that'll pop out. A little circle as well. And then down here we have some instructions. Look at those stickers. That painted look on these stickers is what I love the most. I guess we have them upside down. Death Star playset, Star Wars Death Star. Oh my goodness, just look at that. Just look at how beautiful those are. I love it. I love it. Next up, of course, join the Star Wars fan club. Like always, used to only cost $10. You could join by MasterCard. You could send a check. I wish it was cheap enough just to do $10 for a whole year of Star Wars fan club. Oh well, I missed out. Let's see here. Death Star instructions. Oh, there's a lot here. Tells me how to put it together, how to place the pieces on there, how to build the little core thing that snaps in. So there's actually a decent amount of building. I'm going to put the labels on first, and then I'm going to start attaching things and actually build this whole thing out. So that, I promise you, is going to take a little while. So I will be right back. Okay, guys, so as I have all these pieces that I've unboxed, and I got a couple of the Micro Machines, one thing I wanted to point out that Galoob would do right, I already took one of these off, but notice there's these little circle holes there. Those are to keep these from getting bent in packaging. So notice it's still around it. These help a lot. For some reason, with the newer ones, they don't really do that, and you end up with a lot of wonky-looking X-Wings. So this, 20 years later, still looks good, while the newer ones are all bent and wobbly and weird looking just from being in the normal packaging. Alright guys, I've got it all assembled. It's right behind here, but you know what? Seeing it from that far away isn't going to do any good. You need close-ups. So, let's get you in there and let's see what we got. So what I try to do is I try to make them match the box as much as possible. So I've set up basically the exact same thing. You can see we have our X-Wing, Leia, R2, Luke and Han are back there, and then Darth Vader, even though he's there, I kind of put him in the back. So same deal, X-Wing, Leia, R2, Darth Vader hanging out back there, and then I've got Luke and Han. Now let's take a close-up inside here. I know the shadow's blocking it a little bit, but the coloring on these stickers just seems a little different. Those look more red. These look more orange. Red, orange. Also notice there's a texture on the Death Star itself. It's highly textured and very gritty like sandpaper, while here it's got a little bit of texture, but not nearly as much as they showed in the photos. So that's just something to kind of keep note of. It's a little interesting. Okay, so let's take a look here. This is the main play area. We have our little reactor core. Building this was actually pretty easy. Everything snapped in pretty nice. Now, after kind of playing with it and looking at it, I have a feeling this is probably from 94, just judging by the date and the fact of what they're advertising on here. These were the first 3 sets. They came up with one set from each movie. Death Star for A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Planet Hoth, and Endor from Return of the Jedi. So, I feel like this is the very first Micro Machines set. Like somebody, if you know out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the very first Star Wars Micro Machines set to come out before they started doing the transforming heads and everything. So, okay, and that's why it brings me to this. This is one of the few ones that's not clear. It's actually this gray material, and it does fit in right underneath the bottom. There you go. Kind of scoots in underneath the little hole underneath the X-Wing, and you can telescope it in, and you can kind of push it out like that. But I like the way it moves. I like that it does swivel back and forth like that. Now, there's only one place to put this. This can only belong there. So I'm going to move Leia. I like actually putting her up here. Pretend like she's Obi-Wan in the core or something. And there's little R2. Now, take a look at this R2 up close. There we go. He's got like a big old sensor array sticking out of his... I don't know what that is, like a scope or something sticking out of the top of his head. Looks pretty cool, though. I like that it's a unique sculpt. And again, look at the base. The base for him is really like kidney bean shaped. Hers doesn't count because she's not from this set. But if you look, oh, another thing I just noticed. Look at the color. We have gray. We have kind of gray. And then we have brown and another brown. Each one of these has a different color. Later, in like later sets, for the most part, they're all the same color if they're in the same set. But there's a close-up of Luke. I like his pose. I think he looks good. Let's see if we can see him from behind. Again, good sculpt on the clothes. There's Han Solo. Same deal. He looks pretty good. We can throw him up here behind Leia. And let's take Luke and let's put him blasting at Vader screaming, no! So this is the other side. These stickers are duplicated on the same as the other side there, so it's the same no matter which way you flip it. The difference being these two little pegs right here. These little pegs, and we have them there and also here. You can place this gun, which does kind of swivel and move around. You can place this anywhere in any of the 4 sections. So that's kind of a neat addition. One thing that I like is they have this little button up here. See, that kind of triggers the blast. So let's pop this in there. Is that in all the way? There we go. It feels right. So let's pretend you're doing a trench run. You've got your X-Wing coming through and it blows it up. Boom, and you hit it. So that's cool. And then you can see kind of inside the core. What do they call it? They say removable secret panel to see inside Death Star core. So that's what this is. Again, not super textured, but a little textured enough. And I think that's pretty rad. Now, one thing I forgot to mention. I did mention the Stormtrooper Death Star playset. I mentioned the Rogue One Death Star playset, which isn't really the Death Star. A little bit of it is. But for the most part, it's like other planets. This one has just a tiny little bit of Death Star on the top portion. And there is yet another set that is coming up very soon on this channel. It is the Darth Vader lightsaber Death Star trench playset. It opens, it's his lightsaber and opens up to be the Death Star trench. It just kind of reminded me because we were talking about that. So that's going to be coming up really soon here on the channel. So make sure you are subscribed and stay tuned to that. What should we do here, though? You know what? Let's put a bunch of Stormtroopers in, like I like to do. I actually have some ready to go right here. Look at all these guys. They are ready to populate this Death Star and make it look a little more Star Wars. All right, guys, I've got it all set up. Let's take a close-up look here. That is a very heavily populated Death Star. So I put the whole crew right here, minus Obi-Wan. I don't know why. Maybe they were looking for him. Of course, it wouldn't be the Death Star without a dead Stormtrooper. So I've got a couple little naval troops and a TIE Fighter pilot hanging out there. Of course, I swapped it out for the Millennium Falcon, because that's where it would be in the docking bay. And over here, I put a couple officers kind of wandering around the top by the core. And then over here, we've got Darth Vader, of course. It wouldn't be Darth Vader if someone wasn't getting choked. And just a whole ton of Stormtroopers. Let's see if I can turn this without knocking anybody over. Too late. I already knocked someone over. That's okay. But just so you guys can see the other view of it. There it is, the Death Star. A fully populated Death Star. It looks like everybody's going after this one poor guy. But that's it. Overall, I think it's a pretty cool playset. You can stash your characters in there. And so that's one of the things I really like about some of these old sets, is that you can keep everything contained. You can't fit the X-Wing, but the X-Wing will go on the little peg, and that can kind of slide inside the Death Star. So, overall, I gotta say, it's a pretty cool set. It's definitely not bad. Let me just kind of put them in there and see how they stay, how self-contained it actually is. Oh yeah, that's doable. Definitely doable. Let me clear off everybody else, and I'll show you what it looks like closed up. So here we have it. I've got the lid closed on there. It looks pretty cool. You guys can see it from far away there. It's a neat little Death Star. It's about the same size as this one if you look at it from the top down. I like it. It looks good. I like that you can see inside the little thing. There is a right and a wrong way to put this top piece on because of the trench. You can't put this top piece over on this side. You have to make sure it at least lines up somewhat half the way. But overall, that's a pretty cool looking set. I like that you can see through it. That's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, if you know what's playing back there, let me know. I like to see who's paying attention. And I like to go through the trouble of putting an Amazon link. Oops, I just blew up the Death Star. I like to go through the trouble of putting an Amazon link to this. So if you want to buy your own, there is a link down in the description, and as well as a pinned comment. And anything you purchase on Amazon, it goes to help the channel. If you buy something for like $10, I might see 20 cents or something. It depends on the item, and that's basically how it works. So if you're an Amazon shopper, clicking one of my links definitely helps out. You don't even have to buy the same item. It's just a nice way to support the channel. Now, if you're not an Amazon shopper, no worries. All you got to do is either leave a comment, give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Make sure you come back next time. But if you want to make sure you don't miss the next video, there's a little bell down there. If you click that bell, it's going to notify you. You'll be part of the notification squad. So anytime I put out a new video, I think this one's going to be next, Darth Vader's lightsaber, Death Star trench. But when that new video drops, you're going to get a notification either on your phone or on your web browser letting you know, hey, Dano just put out a new video, time to watch. And then you can be one among the first to comment. Let me know you're in the notification squad. But guys, that's it. I'm going to let that wrap it up. We're good for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know I love you. Until next time, what do we say? May the Force have with you? Why do we say this? And goodbye forever.